Mm.
Come on. There we go. And we're preparing to go live on Facebook. Just taking a moment. There we go. All right. Good morning. It is Brenda and Dr. Dave. Welcome, Dr. Dave. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. So much fun. Hello, everybody.
It's another wonderful Monday morning, and we're going to have some fun talking about what if positive possibilities. So I just ask everybody to get comfortable and take a nice deep breath in and out. And then let's see what our message is for today. Ooh. What if today I chose to be magnificent? Did you know that you choose what you want to do, how you act, and how you react to life? That means each day you can choose to be anything you want. How cool is that? What does magnificent look like anyways? The online dictionary gives the definition of extremely good, beautiful, or impressive. Have you used those terms to express who you are? If no, why not? I'm sure there are things that you do that you are extremely good at. You are magnificent. All the experiences and situations that you have lived through, you are magnificent. You are a beauty inside and out. You are magnificent. How does it feel when you hear those statements or you use those statements? How do you feel when you say it out loud and mean it? I am magnificent. Does that little voice get a little bit louder each time you say it and pipe up stating that you're not what you say you are? Listen in on what that voice is saying. Write it down. Look at the words that you wrote. Are those true statements about you? I can guarantee they are not true. State out loud. This, whatever the statement was that the little voice said, is not true because, and then state what is true, and that you are magnificent. Say this for each statement made by that voice, which is otherwise known as the ego. Know to the very core of your being that you are magnificent. That's a powerful one.
Just breathtaking.
That gave me goosebumps, actually.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Wow.
And we are all light beings, as I said in the last episode of Nature's Divas, that we are here to shine bright. We are magnificent beings. Just think of all the things that your body does without you being in control of it. It just does it. You're breathing, your heart pumping, your arms moving and flailing around like mine are. You don't have to think about it. You just move your arm and it's there. You don't have to go, okay, now I'm going to lift my arm up. You don't, all those things that are going on happen. That's a miracle. Just as you are a miracle and you are magnificent. And everything that you create is magnificent because you're co-creating with the universe. Like, how cool is that? And it's such a powerful word to think, I am magnificent, and actually own it instead of going, well, I'm magnificent. No, no. State it. Say it out loud to yourself now. I am magnificent. and own it, because each and every one of us are. And it's so important for us to be aware of that, which is going to expand our minds and helping us extend into that other 90% that isn't being used. Because when we start to program our minds to go, hey, we're pretty freaking awesome and we're magnificent, then our brain's like, okay, we can go with that. And it starts to create new neural pathways and expanding and really setting into create who we want to be inside and really help us take hold of what our goals are and know, just like in Nature's Divas, know that the goal, we trust that those goals are happening and that they are going to be so much more awesome than anything that we saw possible, because we are magnificent. And when that happens and co-creates with the universe, awesome things happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
What do you think, Dr. Dave?
Love it. Love it. Um, Two things that were really sticking out. If someone is having some resistance to allow themselves to begin to make that a truth, that they are magnificent, then as you might want to do a journal about it and start writing, what are the things that you do own that are magnificent? So, what are some of the traits? What are some of the things that you can do that you do feel and will own that you're magnificent? If that's where we have to start, that's fine, because then the the equation, we as we keep adding, will help us, get to that end point that's going to equal we are magnificent. So start adding them up. If you can't think of those things that you would say you are magnificent in yet, then where would you use that word to describe people or other characteristics? So as you're doing that, then start identifying them for you and how that feels for you, where you're at on that spectrum. And if you don't believe that you're magnificent in any of those things that you've identified, then what's keeping you from that part of it? So like identifying it, because is it really a truth? Most times you might, if you keep drilling down through and getting super, super truthful with yourself, you'll end up coming to the same place in the recognition that you are magnificent. There isn't a difference between that vibration of magnificence and who you are presently. It was just you that I needed to get there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when you were talking about drilling down, a good question to ask yourself is, what must I believe in order for this to be true?
Oh, I like it.
So if you have that thought that comes out, that little voice that's like just saying nasty thoughts, you write everything down and then you start with the first one. What must I believe in order for whatever you wrote down to be true? And then you're going to get an answer. And you're going to take that answer and you're going to ask again. You're going to say, what must I believe in order for whatever that answer was to be true? And you're going to get another answer. And you just keep on going down and going down and going down until you hit the core belief. And that's when you go, wow, that wasn't even anything to do with what was going on above. It's something deep down that you have taken on for yourself, which wasn't even yours. And now it's manifesting in these different ways, which is blocking you from moving forward. So, for example, I was working with a shaman years ago, and oh, he liked pushing my buttons, and half the time I wanted to choke him because he was rather irritating. But he was doing this exercise with me and it just like, it's helpful if you've got somebody across from you. It's, you can do it with writing it down, but when somebody's like shooting those questions at you, it's automatic, so it's a lot quicker than writing it down. And so what happened is, like, I got married very young, and I think I was 18 at the time. And yeah, so after my I split from my husband, I worked with a shaman. So I'm going through this, and then all of a sudden it's like, I will be an old maid if I'm not married by the age of 18. And I'm just like, where did that come from? Because that is like, huh, well, that's a new one. And so he's like, well, you must have been freaking out at the age of 18 thinking you weren't married. So from a past life, well, because I love Victorian things. If I could wear Victorian dresses every day, I would, because they're so freaking cool. Anyways, and live in a castle, but that's beside the point. Um, but it was ingrained that, yeah, you're going to be, life is over if you're not married by the age of 18. So that was a core belief that was like ancestral. So once that came up, it's like, well, that's interesting. And I was able to go, well, that doesn't apply anymore. And I don't need that. So it's really important to get to those core beliefs, because then you can really look at them for what they are and either accept it as truth, as part of who you are becoming, or go, no, that doesn't resonate with me at all, and just let it go. So very, very interesting how these things come up. And it's just like, I didn't see that coming, you know? So it's a really good exercise that helps you find what your core beliefs are.
Yeah, that's great. Wow. Yeah, I haven't heard that exercise before. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Something else that I was thinking of, another um, practice to do is um, power pose. Um, to be able
I
to
haven't heard of
have
that.
about doing power poses that actually changes the um, physiological responses that we're having within our body system. So those power poses are, like standing with your hands on your hips, like a superhero. Like the cape should be going behind you.
The wind blowing in my
Yes.
hair.
Yes. It's a power pose. And it's how you're standing, so are you squared up, or like doing a box kind of with your shoulders and your knees and hips and everything else so that you feel super strong in your stance. So what I was feeling about that, about magnificence, is as you're sitting, just where do you feel that as you're sitting when you say that I'm magnificent? Where does it resonate in your body that that is a truth? And just feel what that feels like. And then stand up and just stand, however you choose. And then again, say I am magnificent. Now, where does that shift? Does it shift? Where do you feel it different in your body? How does it feel different? And then the next step of that is do one of the power poses. And I'm actually not going to give other examples other than the superhero. So just, put your fists on your hip and, just feel that. Pretend as though if you can't feel that and bring that in, but just literally do that pose in that posture and then say it again and notice the differences of how that's actually going to start feeling. Because now you know that if you're playing small anywhere, you can, like, Superman, instead of the phone booth, go to the bathroom or the closet, wherever you need to go, and do the power pose and remember and give yourself permission to remember that you're magnificent. Because that word brings such a deep core strength of grace, and I've got this. I mean, it's a one package, in that one word. And so by doing that, that allows us to get into that space when we're playing small. And so stepping into your magnificence is and start using it. Now that you know that it's a tool, one, you can't unhear what you just heard. It doesn't work that way. So your subconscious knows it. And if you can't remember all of the things that we just walked through or the exercise or how you're supposed to deal with that, just remember stand up and say it. The rest will start because it literally changes the chemistry in our body. So it literally will change all of those things. So it'll take you out of the um, fight or flight mode and put you into the power of being able to make appropriate choices and decisions, as opposed to I'm running from a bear and
Mm.
out of that fear. So when we say that and magnificence, it's that recognition of all of the tools that we have at our disposal that we can be. That's what I got.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, it's just what a great exercise to use. I've never heard that one as well, so I definitely wrote that one down. But yeah, when you really tune in to how you're feeling and what you're feeling, it's really important to do that on a daily basis, even throughout the day. Because if you're doing something and you're all slouched over and you're like hammering down on the keyboard, it's you might want to go, hey, am I having fun doing this? No. So then maybe take a step back, assume your superhero pose and go, I am magnificent. I don't need to go to this lower level here. I am a higher vibration light being. Let's take a couple deep breaths and recenter and really focus in on what I can be doing or delegating and really being conscious of where you're feeling it, which is a really good thing too. Which part of your body, which chakra are you feeling that in? Because it really will tell you what's going on and, where you're holding that. And another important thing to do is if you have children or grandchildren, let them know that they're magnificent
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, great point.
and maybe
Absolutely.
do it together. Say,
Hmm.
we're going to have some fun. I'm going to say, I'm magnificent. And I want you to stand up and be a superhero and say that you're magnificent too.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to do to that child?
Hmm.
What awesome ways that you can share your love with that child, but to boost their self esteem and their self worth and ingrain in their bodies not all these nonsense beliefs that we had, but positive, very strong beliefs that they are awesome and they are magnificent and there is nothing that they can't do. Could
Right.
you imagine the children that are going to then, you know, have this world after us? Like,
Right.
that's just huge. So I do this with my grandkids all the time. I let them know how much I love them and that they're awesome and it's important. It really really is. So they
Absolutely.
know that I'm awesome and I can do anything. And it just instills that love of themselves and that self-worth that is just so important that we kind of missed along the way with the upbringing that we had. But now we have a chance to change the way that we share things with our children and our grandchildren and bring up these wonderful, amazing souls that came down here to do wonderful things.
Yeah. Yeah, that I really love that that exercise doing it together. Because one, you're being the example, and they're seeing you in a different light too, because you're really stepping into that. The next thing then is they're gonna have fun with that so much that hopefully they're going to share it with some of their friends, or they're going to share it at school. They're going to share it in a group somewhere. So then, how cool of this wonderful magnificence cascade that's going to start happening. That's amazing. I love
Absolutely.
that.
Start a movement.
Exactly. Yes.
So, do
That's
you have
awesome.
anything closing to add, Dr. Dave?
I think that we've gotten in today's and both of the episodes, we've had some really great actionable steps for folks to be able to really step into and utilize and apply everything that we talked about today. That, thanks to our our team, the divas and everybody stepping in and going, hey, here's some stuff. Check it out. So, yay. Yep. Jake just
Absolutely.
said yay too. I don't know if anybody heard Jake. That was Jake agreeing.
Messages from the peanut gallery.
Yep. That's all we got. So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much for letting us be here. And do you want to let us know how we can find the book?
Absolutely. It is on Amazon. It's called What If 365 Positive Possibilities for Your Life. And you can pick it up there on all the different Amazons that there are. So,
Nice. Nice.
wherever you are in the world.
Fun. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me be here and have so much fun with you and going through this process every Monday. It's the highlights for me. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And I enjoy it as well. And thank you for being part of this where I can share my love of possibilities and giving options to people to help them live their best life and to transform their life into the wonderful light beings that they are. So thank you so much. And thank you to everybody watching. I appreciate you. And wherever you are, have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. And we'll see you back here next Monday.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.